It definitely does look better than it used to.
Quick, who do I look like?
The Anvil, Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
No. How about this?
I don't know.
What if I go like this? No, nothing.
No.
Anton LaVey.
I have no idea who that is.
The founder of the Church of Satan? No idea. He's sort of famous.
It's not somebody I really read up on a lot.
But he's famous.
Is he?
Anton LaVey.
Is he more famous than Aleister Crowley?
In America? Maybe. It's close.
I guess it depends on who you run with.
He died like, 8 years ago. Aleister Crowley's been there for a long time.
I can't believe you know. See, I didn't even know there. What did you say it was? The Church of Satan?
That's right. He founded the Church of Satan out in California.
I didn't know there was a Church of Satan.
I knew it. I was buddies with a Satanist for a while. And, but I don't think that's even who, I don't know. I thought everyone knew that. It's funny, my buddy didn't know that. I don't know. Yeah. I thought everyone knew it. He's an evil-looking bald guy with a black beard, and he's got eyebrows like this. And
does he look like a guy that would have founded the Church of Satan? Okay.
And the thing is, there's pictures of him. He used to go out with all these movie stars and stuff. And there's a great picture of him. And I'm trying to remember which movie star it was. Just some voluptuous broad in her 60s or 70s attire, and their baby, and they're just dressed in normal garb. And Anton LaVey is there, bald, evil-looking with a cape, walking down the street like
I wish the cape would come back into fashion.
Absolutely.
Myself. I would love to don a cape.
I can't remember. You watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
You remember the one with the guy with the cape?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
the first thing that comes to my mind is that guy creeping out. That was Larry David.
There's a lot of fashion related Seinfelds. The crested jacket episode,
the puffy shirt,
yeah.
The my personal favorite, the coat of many colors, that Kramer wears and they think he's a pimp.
I don't remember that one.
Oh God, it's one of the best episodes.
I'm so happy that Eep likes Seinfeld because it gives me an excuse to.
And this is nothing on Eep, but I'm surprised that she gets a lot of the humor in it.
Oh, I don't think that. I think some of it flies over her head, but I think that she appreciates the nonsensical aspects of it.
See that I love that. I love nonsense.
Yeah,
case in point.
I'm built on nonsense.
You ready to kick this back old school?
Yeah, let's
get a swig in there.
Let's check in with the chat. We got Kate P back again and Creepy Dead Boy himself, Chris. Thanks, Michael.
We rock, yes.
Yeah, that's right, we do.
That's right.
I played some Rock and Roll Racing on the stream.
How was that?
That's a great game.
Really?
Are you familiar with Rock and Roll Racing on the Super Nintendo?
Some of the guys that made that worked on an Amiga game that we covered, because I remember referencing it.
Well, the guys that made that turned into Blizzard. That was there.
You know what it was? It was the Three Vikings episode we did.
The Lost Vikings.
The Lost Vikings.
Yep. All right.
I've learned a lot by studying. If only there were a class on Amiga, I could at least get a C, I think.
I think you could teach the class on Amiga at this point.
Please. Amiga and Satan.
That's right. That's the 101. All right, here we go.
I'm ready, Boat. Give me the rocks.
Okay.
Should I go with the Mohawk?
I think you should be totally. It would be so easy for you to find a Mohawk and just use like super glue and affix it to your head permanently.
I'm sure they have some skin-safe glue.
Right, like some sort of skin-safe glue.
Super glue? Well, what are you going to do that's going to be wacky?
I already have wacky hair. Well, I don't need to do anything. I have a reverse Mohawk.
You do have. You're holding on though.
Yeah.
It really hasn't changed since I met you.
I know.
Your hair is the damnedest thing.
I'm hoping that at some point it'll start to fall out more, and then
you're hoping that, are you?
And then because it really is, it's sort of stuck in this weird middle zone. But what I do is sometimes I take a styling brush and just sort of poof it up a little bit, make it look nice.
You are kidding, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mega expensive.
I don't think you need to. I mean, your glasses don't look like they're in need of.
It's not the glasses per se; it's the blindness.
Oh, okay. Your prescription needs updating.
Yes, the blindness is starting to affect me in an adverse way. Okay. For example, I thought this was a small dog until I got up closer. I'm like, okay, that's my phone.
All right.
I hope that spells it out for you. Thanks, Brutal.
A Keith Flint double
mohawk. I take back
mohawk.
my thanks.
Do you know who Keith Flint is?
I don't, but I know what a double mohawk is.
I'm looking it up right now. Keith Flint.
Road Warrior Hawk had a double mohawk.
Look at this guy. He looks like one of your guys from the Church of Satan there.
He looks like a reverse Vivian from Young Ones. You watch that show.
Yeah. I wonder from the Prodigy. That
I hate that band. So there you go.
I thought you liked that kind of music.
I'm your fire starter. I hate that song so much. So much. No, I'm not a fan.
All right. Okay, so
I did have, I've been bald for a long time, but I had the long hair, right? One time for Halloween, I spiked this stuff straight up. I was trying to pull off a Wolverine, Wolverine's not bald. I look sort of like a very pale Batman.
I can't even imagine. I've never seen like spiking a mullet up.
Well, it ended up drooping quite a bit out, so it looked like Krusty the Clown or something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good look.
Were you dressed up as Wolverine otherwise?
No. And you ever seen Steve Martin with the old arrow to the head routine? It was a lot like if I had a hair arrow stuck through there. A hair arrow.
That's an awesome band name, Hair Arrow.
You can use that, Boat.
Thank you. Henrik saw Prodigy live in '98 or '99.
Oh, Henrik. Have you grown since then, sir? I can't imagine. I've never heard a single other song from them. So they may be the best band ever with one god-awful song.
I thought they had multiple songs.
No. As soon as I heard the word Prodigy, I was flipping the channel. So they could have had the greatest love ballad of all time, and I wouldn't know about it.
They wrote Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I'm your fire starter. Like that, like an R&B sort of thing.
Maybe I could do that for one of the Patreon songs.
I want to hear you sing the Patreon names to this fire starter song.
but as a love ballad.
No. I mean the actual one. Because if you made a love ballad, I don't know what you were doing. You'd have to sing the song to make that work.
That's true. All right. That's it. That's the show.
That's it, man. It's over. It's a done deal. Someone should put together all the times we have an awkward silence between us. That would dwarf the mailbag section. Anytime, because I know you've done it to me hundreds of times, and every once in a while I get you to just look at me like, what are you doing?
Right.
And I don't know. And that's a show right there. Just the most awkward moments
silence
of the Amigos.
Yeah.
Just when we look at each other and wonder what to say next.
Yeah, real shows actually do have people that do that. They call them cringe-worthy moments or stuff like that, and so...
That's all we need.
Our show is one big cringe-worthy moment.
Just as soon as the camera comes on, start cringing now.
Chris says that he just took the plunge on the Piecade. He bought one of those kits where you make the bar top, the bar top
those
thing.
look nice, don't they, man?
Yeah, and so the one he was talking about sounded really cool.
I've always built those like a million times, but then, I'm always like, well, I don't have a bar. There's that. And then
you've also got a full size arcade in your backyard.
I'm talking about back in the day, like when I worked on the mountain. When I worked on the mountain, because I was a miner up there. When I lived on the mountain, I was like, well, I can probably get one of those little ones. I was like, no, just drag a full size machine up the hill like an idiot.
Where did you get that machine from?
The Lilies.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that was from the Lilies.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Lilly. He had a Street Fighter. He just gave up. Much like Chad. They had it. They just sat there for a while. They just gave up on it. So. Yeah, so someone's got to win your contest this week, Boot.
Yeah, I think so.
Even I knew that one. By the way, I was hoping when you were doing the chorus, I was hoping you'd be like, I can't remember whose name you said, whose name came up. I was hoping you'd repeat it.
Yeah. It was kind of a
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it together.
You went through like a whole verse with the names.
Yeah.
That's ludicrous. It's a lot of people.
It is. And I didn't talk about this on the show. I should have mentioned our new tier. If you want to sponsor the Amigos, then we got the new $25 a month tier.
What does that get you?
That gets you.
You just get to live in your basement?
Before the show starts, you can move into the basement. And
you get these pants. I'll give them to you.
You need to auction off those pants for charity. On Amigathon.
Oh my God, that's so disgusting.
That's people.
I can tell you a very similar story, but it's probably not PG enough.
That's what they do on Games Done Quick.
No one does that.
Yeah,
they auction off each other's destroyed pants.
Well, maybe not destroyed pants, but I mean, what other artifacts do we have of this show?
That's not an artifact of the show, Boat.
That's totally an artifact.
I don't want to sell something to someone I don't want to meet or know someone that wants to buy my pants. That's so wrong. Are you kidding me?
They're going to be in some museum, like the Museum of Podcasting.
The museum of guys that have bad pants because they're cheap.
Where did you get those pants from?
I don't know.
See, you can't tell me that they don't come from a good place.
Every place I go is cheap. So yeah, these are from a cheap pants provider.
I've got cheap pants. I've never
Where?
had.
You
I guess
always
I don't
wear
have-
stuff just like that.
Yeah, I guess
or
I don't have-
pajamas.
Yeah.
Or shorts. You never wear anything crummy.
Sometimes I do.
When?
I've got like old
That
T-shirts.
green suit you wore? Put that up for auction. That thing's god awful.
That's not a bad idea.
Who would buy that?
It's a piece of Amigos history.
Is there an Amigos fan out there who's the biggest weird freak we've ever seen? Some kind of fetishist?
Well, I'm not going to name names.
So you're saying you know this guy or girl? Man, this is no good.
Pixels at Dawn just suggested that Mope might want it.
Mope? Who's
Yeah,
that?
Mope, the Museum of Podcasting Excellence.
Something tells me Mope doesn't know about us. Is there a dope?
Well, you just create something. Like you listen to Rush sometimes. You know how he has the golden EAB microphone? EIB. It's totally made up.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I don't know, man. I don't remember what I was thinking back. I was listening to an old episode. Remember that year we won that award? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That was some guy at Atari Age does those every year.
Right? Are they still doing them? Who
I
won
don't
last
know.
year?
We might check. Maybe we won last year and we just didn't know about it.
Sure, but didn't they let you know?
I don't know how I knew. Maybe he did. Yeah, he told me that we were shortlisted and we won or something like that. We probably didn't win.
I remember when I put together Shaggy's, God rest his soul, I put together his webpage, the Out There site. I gave him a award I made up on the fly. You know,
That's what you do.
It was the Out There award.
You put those feathers, those feathers out like that and put an award
I remember
there.
back in the old days of web pages, they would put all those little blocks at the bottom. Here's what all the stuff we won, you know.
Oh yeah, it was right next to the under construction GIF. Of
Yeah,
the guy,
and the web ring that you'd be a
the web
part
ring.
of.
I loved getting a good web
If
ring.
we ever put up another site, we should go to like GeoCities ripoff and make the most
I'm pretty sure
crummy
there are
one.
skins that will do that automatically for you. Just create my bad 1995 GeoCities page. Paul, you were asking about the what I was using for a Friday free-for-all. It is an original Xbox that Aaron made for me that's got coin ops, but was given to me by none other than Chad Wilcox for my birthday one year.
Yeah.
So-
It's funny because I gave away Xboxes one year too.
Maybe he gave me the one you gave him.
Well, actually, Chad was in the game early with me, so we both have. Our
but it's
own
an
methods.
awesome interface. I wish that it had a higher def output, but
You can get the
I've got
component.
S-Video. I've got S-Video already.
We don't have component inputs. Is
Yeah.
the problem. If we had one, we'd be laughing. You know, hey, the Raspberry Pi is a pretty good output. I'll use it sometimes.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to get our silver box over there to output to some sort of a program, because right now it can only
Ever
work
since I
through
was a
OBS.
young boy, I played the silver box.
Did you?
I was never young. That's the problem.
Even as a child?
I grew up, and as soon as I came out of the womb, beard. And it was great. I was
I've seen
bald.
pictures of you in
That's
high
right.
school.
And
You look
it,
very similar to the way you look
it
now.
was unsettling. You know, you walk out, but that's the way it is, man.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, MIDI, definitely have to have MIDI in the background. I'm talking about GeoCities pages. My song, my first AOL site, which is still archived on the Internet Archive, members.aol.com/Hajij. It played Luna by Smashing Pumpkins when you entered it. It had this row of smiley faces. Oh, it was beautiful.
My first page was the Aaron's Paranormal Research page, but one of the sub pages was a Luchador tribute page I put together, and it was me. I wrote a bunch of little diatribes about how the WCW is doing a horrible job pushing the Luchadors. I was appalled.
You need to link that up on the Google Plus.
Some of the Luchadors went there. I remember that they signed my guest book. I was like, oh boy,
that's another thing. You got to have the guest book.
yeah.
The guest book, man, it was great.
I had one page. My paranormal page had a bunch of the background because you had the big
tiled background?
It was the devil tarot card just over and over. You know,
Yep,
it was
yep.
it looked awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not a Satanist, but I mean I've always been into sort of the
you just play one
accoutrements.
on TV.
If I had a cape, I'd wear it just like Anton LaVey.
Well, I don't think
You should look up Anton LaVey sometime.
All right.
Don't do it now, but
right.
on your leisure, you can see he was an interesting fellow. He lied a lot. I guess that's part of it.
A part of being a Satanist.
He was
I don't
known
think
as the
truth
Black
telling is
Pope. How about that?
I think that if you want to get people to pay attention to you, calling yourself the Black Pope is a good way to do
No,
that.
he didn't call himself that. He was dubbed that.
Oh, who dubbed him that?
Some magazine. He was in all the magazines, but
Yeah.
he was also wearing a cape around.
I mean, that was probably his day job, right?
do you know who Ming the Merciless is from the movie? Remember that movie?
I thought he was a wrestler.
Remember Flash? Flash! Oh!
Yep.
Remember Ming?
Yep.
What was that guy's name?
Sidney Poitier.
No. Sidney Poitier, isn't he black?
Yeah.
Ming the Merciless isn't black. He's white.
Okay.
It was Von Sydow. But anyway, he had he was a mean looking guy. He looked a lot like Anton. You've never seen that movie, have you?
No.
It's because of the violence.
Flash?
Yeah.
No, it's just because
It's pretty violent.
I just haven't
People
seen
get
it.
impaled and stuff.
Do they really? I thought it was kind of like a light. Like seriously, I thought it was like PG. Like this is like a hard R. Flash.
It's not a hard R.
I mean, you were talking about it like it's
not a hard R.
Like
no.
it's a Rob Zombie film.
No, it's not a hard R. But I mean, people get killed.
As long as it's
It
not.
had Brian Blessed in it, who's awesome. It had James Bond was in it. It had who else was in it? Of course, Snide Owl, whatever his name is, was in it. He's good. It had a lot of people in it. And Queen played the soundtrack.
I mean, is it worth watching if it's on Netflix?
It's goofy.
I like goofy.
Do you like goofy stuff?
Yeah.
You know, then yeah, I'd watch it. But I mean, as a kid, I thought it was sort of violent. But as an adult, it's like, you know, it's much less violent, I would wager, than it was. I thought it was back then. I don't know if I'd watch it again. It's got a good soundtrack.
They're trying to get you to watch Dune. All those guys in Discord.
Oh man, I know they're pushing it on me.
I can't believe you haven't seen it. You've seen so many bad films.
See, he got it. Thank you, Duncan.
Side-Owl.
That's right, Max von Sydow, and yeah, Duncan knows. Max was also. You ever seen Needful Things? He was in that. He was in. Oh, you know what he was in? His claim to fame, Strange Brew. Strange Brew.
I have seen that.
With the Bob Doug McKenzie. Yeah, that's a good flick. I'm real fond of that one, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a well-traveled actor. I'm sure he's done other stuff, but those are the best ones. You don't care, do you? You're just filling time now. Just waiting for you to shut up so you can end the show. You have nothing to add, no colorful comments, no nothing.
Well, do you want to actually talk about video games that you've played this week that might not be?
I played a lot of games this week, actually.
Did you play anything that? Talk to me about it.
Let's see here. You know, I've been testing a retro Pi this week. And so I've played some stuff, and I mentioned this on this Discord, was the Game Boy Donkey Kong. Where the heck that come from? That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it plays well. It looks good on the TV. Even it looks good. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I played a lot. What was it I was playing on the Atari this week? It was a lot of fun too. Oh, I remember liking it, but I'd forgotten about it. You ever watched the Angry Video Game Nerd? Probably not.
Yeah, I've seen almost everything that he did.
Really?
Yeah.
But I thought you hated like cursing.
I don't really like it, but I mean, in the early days of like internet video, like if you wanted to watch retro stuff, that was.
Well, his stuff. He's a one-trick pony,
yeah.
But he did have this Punch-Out ripoff for the Atari. Great. It's great.
It's called like AVG unboxing or something like that.
Yeah, it's tremendous fun. It's got all the different characters from the show. You get to box them. It's really fun. I played that. I played a lot of Smurfs on the and I played a lot of that Smurf variant, and it's free to play on the web. So I played a lot.
Yeah,
of
I played some of that too. I enjoyed it.
And then I played the Atari version. I played a lot of that. I tried to get into Ladybug. I swear to God, but I just couldn't do it.
I understand.
You know, I knew when you picked it, I was like, oh man, of all the games.
It's funny though because I love like Universal might be my favorite publisher of all time. Like I don't think they did anything that I don't like.
They're unique.
Yeah.
I mean, their stuff is. I mean, even like, this is right. But calling this a Pac-Man clone, you're really stretching at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, you collect dots in a maze, but I mean, that's pretty much where the similarity ends.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's a stretch, but I mean, it's at the highest level. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Domino Man, I love Domino Man. Tapper, there's a wood.
Is Tapper Universal?
Yeah, there's a logging game.
Oh yeah, what's that called? I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the same guy that's in Domino Man. He's just wearing a toque.
Yeah. He gets around.
What's that crazy game where you're the thing on wheels and you can go up and down?
I know what you're talking about.
I love that game too.
You're not talking about what is the name of that stupid game? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. It's an evolution rather than a clone.
Oh, you know what else I played this week? Speaking of, was ColecoVision Bump and Jump. Have you ever played that? Yeah, no. It's not bad. You know, ColecoVision had a lot of good arcade games. It's funny how they've went up in price, and of all the classic consoles, the really old ones, Coleco's demanding more than almost all the other ones, which is weird to me because before Colecos weren't worth a crap.
Well, I think that it has to do with how many. I mean, even if they sold 2 to 6 million, I mean, Atari sold at least 10 million or 10 times that many. So there's just less of them around.
I suppose. Plus, 2 to 6 million. That's a pretty good. They that sold a lot of units.
Plus the ColecoVision, I think that a lot of them broke more easily than Atari units. The Atari 2600 is a tank.
You could beat a man to death with that thing.
Yeah. And plus, like here's another thing. I think a lot of ColecoVisions ended up getting thrown away because they were so big and bulky and heavy. Versus the Atari was comparatively light. You put that in a closet and forget about it.
If you've ever been inside of a ColecoVision, they didn't need all that space. They went with the Atari 5200 philosophy of like, let's store the sticks in here and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, when you've got the things directly on your TV, no problem. But then again, they provide the world's shortest sticks. Which in television is the same thing. That's why I was like, listen, if you're going to have your controllers stored in this thing, that's great. But I mean, where are we supposed to put this thing? At least give us something. It's too short.
Yeah.
And the fact that they use like that phone cord type of cording, that stuff gets tied up.
Yeah.
Disaster.
Yeah.
There's Coleco's another company. Like, yeah, it's a good. They took a good system, and just like the Odyssey, where let's not have it so you can't take the joysticks off. That's idiotic.
Yeah.
And the Intellivision did that too. The first series, not smart. So man, but man, they could port some arcade games to it. They had. I played the crap out of some Venture on there. I don't know if you ever played that on there.
I don't think I've played the ColecoVision version.
It's good. Oh, it's real good. Real good. Buck Rogers is good on there. They did a lot of.
It seems like all the programming went into making these modes that could display exactly, what the arcade machine was displaying. In terms of the way that the text is set on the screen and things like that.
Yeah.
It's very impressive, but it seems like it was sort of a unipurpose system.
I'll tell you something else too. I mean, the effect of Donkey Kong as a packing cannot be understated. That was like I remember seeing the commercials for that thing, and we're just like,
oh, it still looks fantastic.
I mean, it's like, what is this? This looks like the arcade.
Right.
You look at it now, but I mean,
it still looks pretty darn
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
The 7800 had some good Donkey Kongs on it too. I mean, but of course you're talking about
many years down the road.
If you think about it, the ColecoVision competed with the 2600, sure, but they were really competing with like the 5200. All right, and really the 5200, this ballyhooed system, it wasn't exactly cranking out better stuff than the Coleco, right? Plus, they did the crap, which I don't know what was going on back in the 80s, but like it was a competition who could put the most crummy joysticks out, right? Yeah. And they put out even crummier sticks. So which one do you hate more? Do you hate the Atari 7800 stick, the Intellivision stick, or the ColecoVision stick? Which one do you hate the most?
7800 Intellivision or ColecoVision?
Yeah. And keep in mind, I don't mean the gamepad for 7800.
I'd say I haven't spent enough time with the ColecoVision, so I can't answer that one. But between the two, I would rather use the 7800 stick just because that stick is marginally better because you can hold on to it with your hand a little bit more. They're both terrible though.
I mean, I didn't put the 5200 in here because it was the clear winner. It's the worst. But I mean, they had a real thing for a dial system, and even like I said, the Jag had it too. And really, you get to a point where, I mean, do you really need a phone dial in there?
Right.
Probably not.
I saw somebody has modded a Jag controller to work with the ColecoVision. And and the numpad, there's an overlay that shows you what numbers they are for the numpad.
Yeah, that's not the worst idea. Nintendo, everybody loves the NES. The NES, which we know had some engineering problems in America with that god-awful cart. But I mean, I think, and I stand by this, one of the big keys to the NES winning, right, the games, whatever, it was the gamepad. Yeah. I mean, when you can't think of all the horrible gamepads that you're dealing with, all of a sudden you got, and don't get me wrong, the NES gamepad is god awful. I mean, it's so uncomfortable to hold. It's a big square.
But compared, right?
It's like, I mean, and then here comes the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Holy cow! It's like ambrosia. Yeah. Compared, I mean, those were horrible. And the NES gamepad, you only need the two buttons. You get start and select. You're golden. Right. And it played so many games. I mean, if you compared the NES libraries, like the 7800 library, I'm not talking about the overall library. I'm talking about the quality of it. I mean, it had to sound beat. But I mean, the 7800 could, in terms of processing power, it could stay on the same level. Did they have as good of games? No. But from a horsepower perspective, it could have been there. Yeah. And if they'd shipped it with a gamepad instead of that god-awful joystick, and it had some developers of some worth, they may have had a shot.
Sure.
And keeping it 2600 compatible, it's a good idea.
Right.
But leaving the same sound in was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
You know.
And the fact that they still believed that the main reason why people bought video games in 1985 was to play arcade ports, and that was not the case.
Well, you know, when you picked, what'd you pick for the
Ninja
next
Golf?
week? That's a good pick, and I've not played it. The reason I picked Asteroids is, and I'll just tell you now, it's because I think it's one of the best versions of Asteroid, including the 8 bits, which that's how I'm going to push it, you know. But I mean, in all honesty, what is the standout game on the 7800? Of all the games, who knows? Really, I mean, is there one?
Yeah, Food Fight.
See, I don't think. I mean, Food Fight's a good conversion, but I never liked that game in the arcade that much.
See, to me, that's
you know?
that's the ultimate 7800.
I never did it for me. Like if I was going to pick my favorite 7800 game, you know, Mario Brothers is pretty good. I almost picked that. You know, but I mean, you know, they just shoveled the same stuff that they've been shoveling for 10 years.
Right.
You know, you can only do it for so long.
Yeah.
You know, and Nintendo gets away with it because at least their games are evolutionary. Mario's been in a million games. You know, but you can't they didn't just take Mario Brothers and just pitch it on every new machine.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Nobody's saying, "Oh man, Mario Odyssey, it's another Mario game doing the same stuff."
Right.
You know?
No one, and just like Mario Galaxy was completely different. You know,
Right.
Atari was a victim of their own early success, and they never ever changed.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I don't know what's going on with Atari now. Of course, it's a different guru with this whole Atari box and stuff. But I mean, it looks like that's going to be a complete vaporware system.
It's not looking good for the Atari box.
You know, but hell, we'll give it a shot next week and see what we can come up with. 7800's got an interesting story behind it, if anything. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about Atari. You know, from the time up through, I'm less interested in the Jag years, but all the way up through the 7800, it's a fascinating story. And even into the Lynx and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's call it a night.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. I may stream a little bit this week as long as the strike is still going on and I'm sitting at home doing nothing. So
adios, guys.
Adios.